Senator Akpan. Senator Akpan, take your seat. Please take your seats, gentlemen. Your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats.
Nigerian senators on Wednesday during plenary deliberated a motion on the Naira Redesign Policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, moved by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, Senator Uba Sani. Sani, in the prayers of his motion, urged the Senate to provide legislative support for the policy, while asking the Senate to mandate its committee to embark on aggressive oversight on the matter.
You will agree with me that in the last 2 weeks, there have been conversation on the issue of redesign of Naira notes by the Central Bank of Nigeria. And that is why I'm coming under 41 and 51 on the issue. With their permission, I can go ahead to read 41 and 51. Mr. President.
You may read 41, 51, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. 41. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. 51. Order 51. Mr. President, notice shall not be dispensed with in the case of a motion or in respect of any other proceedings for which notice is required except with the consent of the President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present.
Matters became controversial when Senators Ali Ndume, Ahmed Sabi, Abiodun Olujimi, Betty Apiafi, Baru Jibrin, Oji Kalu, and Gabriel Suswam, among others, supported the CBN policy but complained of the deadline, timing, and access to banking facilities by rural dwellers.
It is very, very important for the CBN, either through the chairman of the committee that brought it, to ask the CBN to address or come up with ways of how to handle the situation that most of our rural populace are facing in terms of cash dealing. I give you an example. In my state, we have 27 local government. After the insurgency, as it is now, we only have 5 banks in the 27 local government. And you know, if this is implemented without adequate arrangement, people will have problem moving their monies to the central banks. The insurgents, armed robbers, criminals will virtually be looking out to waylay them and take away the little they have. So the CBN should make adequate arrangement to address this issue where local government towns that don't have bank will have access to changing their money.
Motion. I believe we need to do something about the liquidity that we now have in the country. But I also believe that there are serious issues to be considered. One of them is the one mentioned by the minority leader on the window open to everybody to exchange their money for the new one. 1 month and a half is extremely short for what we are about to do, because if you withdraw 1 trillion from this economy at once in a month, the ripple effect will affect everybody.
Nigeria, the rural people need to be given another 2-3 months to be able, from January 31st to April 31st. I'm sure the Committee on Banking and Finance should be able to meet with the Central Bank Governor and plead with him. This is our country. 1.5 years. Mind you, this is Christmas period and New Year is coming. And you cannot just say you are going to buckle people who are in merriment mode to come and change money in the marketplaces. So you give us time so that the rural areas who are planting rice, cassava, and the rest of them can come to Market Square to change their money.
The CBN governor, who is seeking our support have in the past shown absolute disrespect for these hollow chambers. There are several invitations that the man has been invited here which has not turned up. Mr. President, it is not within our own jurisdiction to give support to what the CBN wants to do because they're autonomous. They can go ahead and do this. It will be ridiculous for us to sit down here as a Senate and say that we're giving legislative support to CBN to do what has already been done. The president has approved the money, they're already printing it, and so what are we talking about here?
The Senate should invite the CBN governor so that we can hear from him what he intends to do where all these are concerned. And I believe when we're comfortable with that, then no one has a problem with what is on ground.
Senator